Hey folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Tuesday, June 10th. The Pittsburgh Steelers are starting their mandatory minicamp, 3-day minicamp at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. Today, mandatory minicamp is basically exactly the same as OTAs, except it's mandatory instead of voluntary. The days are a little bit longer, but it's pretty much the same thing. No pads, not real football, but we will, I hope, learn a little bit more about the Pittsburgh Steelers this week thanks to who will be in attendance and maybe who won't be in attendance. Let's start with who will. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers just signed under contract last week. DK Metcalf has been under contract but wasn't at OTAs. Those two will be at mandatory minicamp starting today. So it'll be our first chance to check out both of them in a black and gold uniform and, more importantly, get to see their connection with one another. I think that's an important part of this story, not just because Rodgers and Metcalf haven't played together before, but also the first time we're going to see them in Arthur Smith's offensive scheme. How will the Steelers use DK Metcalf? I think it's still a somewhat unanswered question. Will he be a one-to-one replacement for the way they used George Pickens last year, or will they use him in a more of a well-rounded role? I'm really interested to see how that goes. And then, of course, T.J. Watt, what is, I think, going to be the major storyline of Steelers minicamp. He's not going to be here. And I'll be frank, it doesn't matter. Last time around in 2021, T.J. Watt was at minicamp but did not participate. There's no difference between being at minicamp and not participating and not being at minicamp, other than the Steelers can fine him $100,000 if they want to for not being there. But, the functional difference for the team is zero. It doesn't matter. Nor does it really matter if TJ Watt doesn't participate at all this offseason. He's one of the best defensive players in the world. He can probably show up an hour before the opener and be every bit as good as he will be if he's at every single practice. It really, his absence or presence will not mean one thing for the team. And I don't think the team is at all sweating TJ Watt not being there. I don't think they care. TJ is obviously looking for a contract extension and hasn't gotten one. He seems upset about the timing of it, the fact that it hasn't happened yet. But the Steelers have good reason to wait. They need a wide receiver badly. They need to be able to have the opportunity to sign a wide receiver. They also want to be able to maximize their cap spending in 2025. They have a specific amount of cash they have to spend this year, and they also want to spend all the way to the cap. If they put a certain amount of TJ Watt's contract into this year ahead of time, that puts some limits on the amount of flexibility they have to do a wide receiver trade. If they do a deal with TJ Watt today because they're upset he's not at minicamp, and then tomorrow the 49ers call and say, you know what, we're finally done with this IU guy. Well, we wanted to give him to you for a six just to get rid of him. Oh, no, now the Steelers don't have the cap space to do it. That's why the Steelers always wait until late in the summer to do their own internal business. It makes sense for them. It's a good business practice, and there's no reason for them to get out of that business practice just because it seems like TJ Watt is in a hurry. They need to be able to put the best team around him, not get TJ Watt under contract because they're in a hurry. It doesn't matter if he's at minicamp. It won't matter if he's at training camp. It will just be a thing that a lot of people around the league and around the fan base are going to talk about that will have no actual bearing on whether the team wins or loses any games this year, just like Aaron Rodgers waiting 3 months to sign his contract. And I'm sure there will be people in the comments talking about TJ's health. And of course, yes, TJ has had a number of minor injuries that have come up late in the season. He got hurt against the Eagles last year. He got hurt against the Ravens the year before. He was ineffective over the last 4 games of the 2024 season. He missed the playoff game at the end of the 2023 season. TJ also hasn't missed a regular season game since tearing his pec against the Bengals way back when. And the last time he held out all of minicamp and training camp without getting a contract, he had the best season of his career and won Defensive Player of the Year. So I don't really think there's any correlation. It's not like TJ can't be in shape on his own. It's not like TJ can't do the work that he needs to do in terms of preventative maintenance about being injured on his own. That stuff's easy. The one area you would maybe like to see him get some work in is that I assume he is going to continue to work on the opposite side of Cam Hayward, which means he will be playing next to Derek Harmon, who he has not played with before. And Keanu Benton, who he has played with before, but probably not as much right next to him. Benton playing more nose tackle before, now is going to be playing a lot more of that three technique Larry Ogunjobi's old role in addition to Harmon. Would be nice to see him get some reps doing some twists and things like that, but at the end of the day, that's something you can take care of in one practice. So I'm not super worried about it. I don't get the sense the team is super worried about it. And I think this TJ Watt storyline is a big nothing burger that, unfortunately, going to have to continue to talk about. We will have more of real football from Minicamp Meet, Brendan Howe, Ed Thompson, all on our way to the South Side right now. And so we'll have a practice report. And then, of course, afternoon drive with me and Smitty right here at 6 on the YouTube channel. Plus, there'll be practice highlights, maybe some interview clips of the first interview Aaron Rodgers doing with the Pittsburgh media. We're expecting that after practice today as well. So definitely want to make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel so you don't miss a thing. Until later, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.